Let me ask you something real honest. When you got out of bed this morning, did your legs feel a little slow? A bit stiff? Maybe heavy? Did you have to take those first few steps carefully, maybe even a little wobbly? I get it. I really do. I'm in my 60s myself, been a doctor for decades at a local health center. And just about every day, I hear the same thing from folks like you. They say, "Guess I'm just getting old." But you know what? I don't buy that. Not completely. Sure, age plays a part, but it's not the end of the story. Losing strength in your legs doesn't have to be a done deal just because there are more candles on the birthday cake. So, now, let me ask you something. What if just before bed you could eat one small, simple thing, and by the next morning, your legs felt steadier, you stood up easier, and you walked with more confidence? Would you try it? Sounds a little strange, I know. But this isn't some internet rumor or old wives' tale. This is real science, backed by real research. So if you're looking to do something good for your body without lifting weights, popping pills, or spending a bunch of money stick around, because in this video, I'm going to show you one small change that might just be the biggest thing you can do for your legs after 60. Part 1. The real reason your legs feel weaker after 60. You know, I get a lot of folks who come into my office and say things like, "Doc, these days I can barely get up from my chair. My legs feel wobbly, like they're not even listening to me." Sound familiar? If you've ever had to grab the bed or lean on the wall just to take those first few steps in the morning, trust me, you're not alone. A whole lot of people over 60 are going through the same thing. But here's the thing I really want you to know. It's not just that you're getting old. That's not the full story. What's really happening is your legs aren't getting clear signals from your nervous system like they used to. It's kind of like a radio with bad reception. The connection between your brain and your muscles isn't as smooth as before. Doctors call it a neuromuscular disconnect. But I like to explain it this way. Your muscles are still there. They've just kind of gone to sleep. And get this, there's real science backing this up. A study from Johns Hopkins found that after age 60, folks can lose up to a third of their muscle mass. But here's the surprising part. A lot of that muscle isn't actually gone. It's still there, it just isn't getting the on signal from the nerves like it used to. Another study from the University of Calgary showed something similar. Even when older folks had trouble walking, scans showed their muscles still looked pretty solid underneath. So, what does that tell us? It's not that the muscle's the problem, it's the switch that controls the muscle. And that switch has kind of shut down over time. But the good news? You can flip that switch back on. This isn't a lost cause, my friend. In the next part, I'm going to show you how this muscle weakness can lead to bigger health problems if we ignore it, and more importantly, what we can do to stop it. Let's keep going. Part 2. When your muscles weaken, the rest of your body starts to slip too. Now, remember how I mentioned your muscles kind of fall asleep as you age? Well, if we don't catch that early, if we don't wake them back up, it can start a downhill slide that affects your whole body. I call it the aging spiral. And once it starts, it's tough to stop. Doctors have a name for this. It's called sarcopenia. That's just a fancy way of saying age-related muscle loss. But here's the tricky part. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't make a fuss. It sneaks up on you. Quietly. One day, you're getting up a little slower from your chair. Next thing you know, you're walking less steady. And before long, you're afraid to take a quick step, let alone a long one. But it's not just your legs we're talking about here. Muscles, especially the ones in your legs, are deeply connected to how your heart works, how your body handles sugar, even how sharp your mind stays. When those muscles weaken, your blood doesn't circulate as well. Less oxygen gets to your brain. You feel more tired, maybe a little foggy, and you might not sleep as soundly either. And here's what worries me most: the risk of falling. Did you know the CDC reports that every 11 seconds, a senior in the U.S. ends up in the ER because of a fall? And it's not just a scraped knee. Falls are the #1 cause of injury-related deaths in people over 65. And sadly, a lot of folks never walk the same again after a serious fall. So yeah, It starts with weak legs, but it can turn into something much bigger. But don't worry, I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm telling you because once you understand why it happens, you can actually do something about it. And in the next part, I'm going to talk about a switch inside your body, a kind of power button for your muscles. If you learn how to flip that switch back on, your legs might just surprise you. Stick with me. Part 3. The muscle switch and why it needs the right fuel. Now, I want you to picture your body like an electrical system. Your muscles, they're like light bulbs. But those bulbs don't turn on by themselves, right? They need a switch. In your body, that switch is something called a motor neuron. It sends signals from your brain, down through the nerves, and into the muscles. That's how your muscles wake up, contract, and help you move. But here's the thing. After you hit 60, that switch doesn't work quite like it used to. Not because you did anything wrong, this just happens naturally with age. Those nerve cells weaken. The connection between your brain and muscles starts to fade. It's like an old wire getting rusty or frayed. It doesn't carry the signal well anymore. Why does that happen? Well, I've seen 2 big reasons. First, your body starts running low on the nutrients that keep this system going. Your nerve especially, the fine ones that control muscles, need certain things to stay strong. Things like B vitamins, leucine, and antioxidants. But as we age, our digestion slows down, and we don't absorb nutrients like we used to. You might be eating just fine, but your body isn't using it all the way it should. Second, your internal body clock, what we call your circadian rhythm, gets out of sync. Late nights, irregular meals, less movement, all of that can throw off the signals between your brain and your muscles. So even if your brain says, "Let's go," the muscles might not be getting the message loud and clear. But here's the good news. That system can be recharged. You can get that switch working again if you feed it the right stuff at the right time. And when's the best time, according to the latest research? Right before bed. In the next part, I'll tell you about one simple food, nothing fancy, easy to find, that's packed with exactly what your muscles need to fire back up. Just 1 spoonful before bed. And you might wake up with legs that feel steadier, stronger, and more ready to go. You don't want to miss that part. Let's keep going. Part 4. Leucine, the overlooked nutrient that helps rebuild muscle while you sleep. Let me tell you something. Friend, just a small thing, but it can make a big difference for your legs. It's not a drug. It's not expensive. It's something simple amino acid called leucine. You'll find it in everyday foods. But most folks don't realize how powerful it actually is. Leucine doesn't just build muscle. It flips the switch on a biological system called mTOR. That's a big deal for your body. Think of mTOR like the foreman on a construction site. When leucine shows up, it knocks on the door and says, "Hey, it's time to rebuild muscle. Let's get to work." Once mTOR gets the signal, your body starts putting together new protein, repairing tiny energy centers inside your cells. Those are called mitochondria, kind of like little power plants for your muscles. Even better, leucine helps improve how your body handles insulin and keeps your blood sugar in check, something a lot of us struggle with as we get older. But here's the key part. Leucine only works best when you take it at the right time. And that magic window is about 60 to 90 minutes before bed. Why? Because that's when your body kicks into repair mode naturally. Your growth hormone levels go up at night, helping your body rebuild tissue, fix damage, and yes, rebuild muscle. So when you give your body leucine at that moment, it's like handing over the right tools just when the repair crew arrives. In other words, you're not just going to sleep. You're giving your legs a chance to heal and grow stronger while you rest. In the next part, I'll show you some of the best leucine-rich foods you can easily find on that are gentle on the stomach, perfect for older adults, and backed by real science to help your muscles recover overnight. Remember those days when one good night's sleep left you feeling strong in the morning? Well, let's bring that feeling back. Stick with me. Part 5. The best leucine, rich foods to eat before bed, backed by science. You know, a lot of folks think they need some fancy pills or expensive supplements to build muscle again. But really, if you eat the right thing at the right time, your body can do the rest. And after decades working as a doctor and reading through hundreds of studies, I can tell you this with confidence. There are a few simple, natural foods that are loaded with Lucin Just, perfect to eat before bed. First on my list stand, something I often recommend to my patients is plain Greek yogurt. About half a cup or so, roughly 5-6 ounces. It gives you about 2.4 to 2.8 grams of leucine, which is just enough to flip on that muscle-building switch I talked about earlier, mTOR, remember? What's special about Greek yogurt is that it also contains casein, slow-digesting protein. So your body keeps getting a steady supply of nutrients throughout the night to help your muscles recover. And as a bonus, it's got vitamin D, B12, and calcium, which help your bones, nerves, and even your sleep. Now, if you're not into yogurt, here's another easy option. 2 hard-boiled eggs. That'll give you around 2.2 grams of leucine, plus choline, a nutrient that helps your brain send clear signals to your muscles. So you're not just feeding your muscles, you're helping the nerve connection to something we older folks really need. And what if you don't eat dairy or eggs? No worries. A scoop of casein protein powder from soy or milkus, a great substitute. Most servings have about 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine, and they're easy to mix with warm water or into a bowl of oats before bed. Speaking of oats, you can toss in some rolled oats and top it off with hemp seeds, pumpkin seeds, or sesame seeds. That not only bumps up the leucine, but also gives you fiber, zinc, magnesium, and healthy fats, all good stuff to help you sleep deeper and recover better. See? Nothing fancy here. Just a small bowl or a light snack before bedtime. That's all it takes to flip the switch back on and give your legs a boost. And in the next part, I'll walk you through exactly how to fit this into your evening routine in a way that feels easy, light, and doesn't leave you feeling too full. Let's keep going. Part 6. What to avoid after 8 p.m. so you don't undo all the good work. Let me tell you something that surprises a lot of folks. You could be doing everything right, eating healthy, taking the right vitamins, going to bed on time. But if you snack on the wrong thing late in the evening, it can quietly mess up all that effort. I'm not saying this to scare you, just so you know what to steer clear of. First up, stay away from sugary stuff after 8 p.m. Cookies, ice cream, sodas, even those herbal teas in bottles from the store that seem harmless, they're often packed with hidden sugar. And that sugar can mess with your blood sugar, disrupt your sleep, and quietly cause inflammation. Next, let's talk about red meat, especially if it's fried, grilled, or heavily seasoned. After 60, our digestion isn't what it used to be. So having something like a steak or sausage at night might seem like you're getting more protein. But really, it just makes your stomach work overtime and can leave you bloated and tossing in bed. Fried and greasy food, so I know they're tasty. But deep frying, especially with reused oils, creates bad stuff that stirs up inflammation in your body. And that kind of low-level inflammation, it slowly wears down your muscles, leaving you feeling sore and sluggish, even if you didn't do anything wrong. Last but not least, caffeine. And I don't just mean coffee. It hides in strong teas, dark chocolate, and even some pain relievers. Just a little caffeine after 8 p.m. can delay your body's melatonin, which means you'll have a harder time falling asleep. And sleep, as you probably already know, is when your body does the hard work of fixing your muscles and recharging your nerves. So if your sleep gets messed up, you're cutting short the one time of day your body's trying to help you heal. So here's the bottom line. If you want to wake up with lighter, stronger legs, keep your bedtime snacks simple and gentle. Don't let one tasty treat late at night undo everything your body's trying to rebuild. We've come this far, let's not let a scoop of ice cream or a late-night soda ruin it. Part 7. Extra nutrients that help you bounce back even better. So now you know leucine is like the main on switch that helps kickstart muscle recovery. But there are a few other nutrients that are just as important, especially as we get older. I like to think of them as your personal booster crew after 60. First up, magnesium. This little mineral is key for helping your muscles relax, cramp less, and sleep better. You'll find it in things like pumpkin seeds, almonds, and ripe bananas. A small banana before bed? It's tasty, and it helps calm those tired legs. Next, the classic pair vitamin B6 and B12. These two help rebuild the protective coating around your nerves, called the myelin sheath. That's what keeps the messages from your brain reaching your muscles clearly, no delays, no fuzziness. You can get these from simple foods like hard-boiled eggs, Greek yogurt, tuna, or salmon. Then there's choline. Your body uses this to make a chemical called acetylcholine, basically the text message between your brain and your muscles. More choline equals faster signals, equals smoother movement. You'll find it in egg yolks, chicken liver, and milk. And don't forget about vitamin D3. It's not just for strong bones, it also helps your body absorb calcium and makes leucine work better. The best source is sunlight. Just 10 to 15 minutes in the morning can do the trick. And if you're not getting much sun, a supplement might help. Just check in with your doctor first. Here's the bottom line. If leucine is the key, these other nutrients are the oil that keeps the engine running smooth. Together, they help your nerve and muscle systems stay strong and sharp day after day. Part 8. You might feel the difference after just a night or two. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Can a little bedtime snack really do that much? Let me tell you about one of my favorite studies from Maastricht University in the Netherlands. In this study, they gave a group of folks, over 60, a small serving of leucine and slow-digesting protein before bed each night. Just one little snack. No pills, no workouts. After just 7 nights, the results were pretty amazing. Leg strength went up by 10 to 15%. And that's not a guess, they use real measurements. Grip strength, standing from a chair, walking balance. All of it got better. Even better, people in the group said things like, "I'm not cramping up at night anymore. I can get out of bed easier in the morning. I feel more steady on my feet. I'm not as afraid of falling." And the best part? No drugs, no fancy treatments, no big spending. Just the right foods, at the right time. If they could do it, I know you can too. Right there at home. And you can start tonight. In the final part, I'll show you exactly how to turn all these tips into one easy nighttime routine, like a little gift you give your body before bed each night. Let's finish this journey together. Part 9. A simple 5-minute routine before bed that really works. My friend, if everything I've shared so far feels like a bit too much, don't worry. Let me make it easy for you. All you really need is one simple routine that takes just 5 minutes before bed. Starting tonight, sometime between 8:30 and 9 p.m., pick one light snack that's rich in leucine. Nothing fancy, just a small bowl of Greek yogurt, or 2 hard-boiled eggs, or even 1 scoop of protein powder mixed with water. That's it. Then, give your body what it really needs. A full 7 hours of sleep. Try not to stay up late. Leave your phone off the bed. And skip the late-night snacking after 9. Your body needs quiet time to repair and recharge. Let's give it that chance. Stick to this routine for 3 to 7 nights in a row, and you'll start to feel the difference. Your legs will feel lighter in the morning. You'll stand up without wobbling. And best of all, your mind will feel clearer because you're not waking up every day dragging heavy, tired legs. Let me remind you of something really important. You don't have to change your whole life. Just start with one small step. Part 10. Final message. It's not too late to get your strength back. My friend, I hear this a lot. Guess I'm just getting old and weak. But that's not really what's going on. Your body isn't weak, it's just out of sync. The signals from your brain to your muscles, from your spine to your legs, they've just gotten a little quiet. They need to be woken up again. And you can do that with just a smart little eating habit at the right time. Remember this. A small cup of Greek yogurt tonight could be the start of stronger steps tomorrow morning. You don't have to run. You don't need to lift weights. Just choose the right foods at the right hour and let your body do the rest. If what I've shared today made sense to you and feels like something you can do, share this video with someone you care about. You might help them feel steadier, move safer, and live with more ease. The journey to recovery doesn't have to begin in a doctor's office. It can start right in your own kitchen tonight. I believe you've got this. And I'll see you in the next video so we can keep walking this path to better health, one step at a time.